2025 has been a year of anniversaries, many of them milestones for things I associate with. Starting with Tucson, this is the 250th anniversary of its founding. The location of Tucson, and indeed the entire region of the American Southwest, has been inhabited by indigenous people for millennia. But on August 20th, 1775, Ugo O'Connor founded a community known as Chukchon, making Tucson 1 year older than the United States. 100 years ago, the Honor Scout organization of Long Beach, California was founded and named Tockwitz for the rock and peak of the same name located in Idlewild, California, where Camp Tockwitz started. I became a member of Tockwitz in 1973, 52 years ago. This year's centennial reunion at the current Camp Tockwitz, which was relocated to Barton Flats 65 years ago, was a chance to see camp once again and reminisce with Scout buddies old and new. See that reunion video linked below. 45 years ago at Humboldt State University, a barbershop quartet formed up and was named the Old College Try. We've reunited many times since graduation to sing as well as to bird, with this year's trip being to the Mojave Desert. See that reunion video below. 40 years ago, I graduated with a master's degree from Cornell, where I met friends and colleagues who have remained special to me. They live in Portland, Oregon now, where I passed through this summer and paused for a Cornell reunion. Also on my Oregon trip, I reunited and sang with dear friends from Barcelona 30 years ago and Tucson 27 years ago. Those two songs, both of the Vivaldi Laudamus Te duet, are linked below. Last but not least on my Oregon trip, I sang with Irene, whom I met at Humboldt State Choir 43 years ago. Another song video below with Irene on ukulele. We celebrated our 38th anniversary this year, with the current family pup, Tennessee Tuxedo, turning 2 this year. This year is the 30th anniversary of finishing my PhD at the University of Arizona. I've been told that my getting a PhD was a foregone conclusion, but that's rather presumptuous. A PhD is not only hard, it's an endurance test too. As for the U of A, it turned 140 this year, making it older than Arizona, which became a state on Valentine's Day, 1912. This year's summer field trip of the Southern Arizona chapter of the Society of American Foresters was down to Elgin, Arizona and the grasslands, a biome located between the Sonoran Desert and the Sky Islands. It was 30 years ago that we foresters last visited the experimental ranch dedicated to the conservation of Arizona grasslands, so an update trip was long overdue. The video of that trip is linked below. And SAF itself is turning 125 this year. A cherished friend of 45 years, Betsy, passed away this year, and the celebration of her life in San Diego was yet another reunion of friends who are so dear they are like family. More singing, Kumbaya this time, and another song video below. This year is the 10th anniversary of hiking the John Muir Trail, 210 miles of the highest elevations of the Sierra Nevada. That was a bucket lister and my first ever video below, which opened my eyes to video for storytelling such that now I'm constantly making short videos nearly daily. I still take shorter hikes in the High Sierra, with this year's trip starting in Sequoia Kings Canyon and making it up to Pincho Pass, just over 12,000 feet in elevation. As John Muir himself once said, "The mountains are calling, and I must go." 2025, the Tree Ring Laboratory of New York State celebrated its 50th anniversary. I worked there in the 1980s, so I attended the gala event, naturally. 50 years, all on soft money. That is, funded exclusively through grants based on scientific merit, an amazing accomplishment. Many selfies and group shots with tree ring scientists from around the world. I got to speak on a project I worked on 40 years ago, dating and discovering a past earthquake on the southern San Andreas Fault of California. That video, linked below. The night before the New York Tree Ring celebration, a 40-year reunion took place of singers of the Teaneck, New Jersey Blue Chip Barbershop Chorus. We had pizza and caught up on our lives, all with the same humor and laughter of before, if not literally the same jokes from the 1980s. We sang one song and several tags, with jokes, and that video is linked below. A delightful celebration. The day after the New York Tree Ring Gala, I attended the women's singles finals match of the U.S. Open tennis tournament, starting with birding at nearby Jamaica Bay. It was 40 years ago I became moderately serious with birding, traveling long distances to see rare birds, and keeping a personal life list. Jamaica Bay, legendary for high bird diversity within eyesight of one of the biggest cities in the world, was a favorite birding spot of mine early on. At the Tennis Center in Flushing Meadows, this is the 75th anniversary of Althea Gibson breaking the color barrier in tennis. The monument in her honor is stunning. This is the 50th anniversary of Arthur Ashe winning at Wimbledon, and the big tennis arena in New York is named in his honor. Find and watch the 2021 documentary on Arthur entitled Citizen Ashe. Highly recommendable. This year is the 50th anniversary of Chris Evert winning her first U.S. Open. Chrissy was in the building this year as she helped call the tennis on TV and presented the trophies after the match. Billie Jean King was also in the building. This entire complex of the United States Tennis Association is named in her honor, as it was she who helped break down gender barriers and who has continued now for 60 years being a global ambassador of the sport. Notice her champions plaque: 4 women's singles titles, 5 women's doubles titles, and 4 mixed doubles titles, a strong record of championships at the U.S. Open. I got to the tennis center early to have time to see everything and absorb the energy of championship finals day. My favorite player, Iga from Poland, didn't make the finals this year, but I got a selfie with her life-size cutout. Then it was time to find my seat, way up in row ZZ. The Arthur Ashe Arena is so large and magnificent, it's hard to describe in words or capture by camera. Incredible views from up high, both outside and in. Watching tennis on TV is all well and good, but seeing finals tennis in person was brilliant. Both finalists consistently crushed the ball so hard that even Chrissy and Billie Jean must have been impressed by the power and precision of the elite players currently. This finals match was, hands down, the single most prestigious, magnificent sports event I've ever attended in person. Second place for me was 10 years ago, the Fiesta Bowl with Ohio State and Notre Dame, which Catherine and I attended as much for the marching bands as for the football. But this tennis match of 2025 will be a new marker year for me for future anniversaries. This year was also the first anniversary of the 2024 recital of sacred music sung by a club called Under Video Surveillance. It was held down in the historic Spanish-era church known as Tumacacori, whose construction started about 225 years ago and ended about 200 years ago. Tumacacori is a must-see location for anyone visiting southern Arizona. The vocal recital marked the 10-year anniversary of UVS as a club of singers who sing just about any kind of songs and who enjoy each other's company through harmony. Lastly, September 5th, 2025 was the 70th anniversary of Waffle House, which has been a thing for me over the last 10 years. Waffles and grits are a given, but just as important, if not more so, are the group selfies with the iconic sign. I'm up to over 60 photos by now, all compiled into a single video, linked below. Anyone who visits me can expect a pilgrimage to Waffle House for diner food and a selfie with the sign. Long live milestones and recollections of the past.